Hi guys, welcome back to KJ Paints. I am doing a painting using the color palette that I used on my previous video, which was the turtle, the wooden turtle. And what I had done with, I'm specifically talking about the yellow, blue, green. So what I had used was the Artist Loft Metallic Cobalt Blue, the Liquitex Basics Light Green Permanent, and the Artist Loft Brilliant Yellow. And I was just blown away by the way that color combo came out of the cup that I decided right then and there I needed to do another painting with that. So what I'm going to do is known as a tree ring pour. I don't want a lot of cells, so I'm using glue all and water as my pouring medium. This is mixed about 70% glue, 30% water. And then my paints, which are quite thick, are mixed 1 part paint to about 2 parts of the glue all water mixture, and then another further 1 part of water, because I do want it quite thick, but the glue is quite thick on its own, so you do still need to water it down. And I know some people use a higher ratio of water in their glue all mixture. I like to do the 70-30 because it gets you started, but you can also just continue to add water if you want to change the consistency to be a bit thinner. So there's my metallic cobalt blue, there's my brilliant yellow, and my light green permanent. So what I'm gonna do, I've painted the outsides of the canvas so that I don't have to worry too much about tilting. With the tree ring pour, I really want the ring design to be maintained. So to that end, that's why the paints are quite a bit thicker, so that they won't, so that they'll hold their lines a little bit better. And again, the reason I'm using the glue all is to avoid too many cells. I probably will get some cells, I'm guessing, because of the way the brilliant yellow seems to react with these colors, but we'll see. That was also done with Floetrol, the turtle one. So what I'm gonna do is gonna layer the colors yellow, green, blue, green, yellow, so that hopefully I'll have a nice little yellow bright center, and then it'll go out to the blue and then back to the yellow. So the first color in is gonna be the last color out, so that's gonna be my yellow center, but I don't want a ton of it, not quite half of it. And then again, I don't want to, don't want my colors to be intermixed too much, so I'm gonna pour the other colors down the side of the cup like this, so that they'll hopefully just sit nicely on top of each other. Now I'm going to use all of the blue at this point. I hope this is going to work out. I've got about 6 ounces of paint, roughly, for an 11 by 14 canvas. Should be enough, but you never know. And then back to my green. Hard to tell if it's working. I think it is. Colors do still seem to be delineated a little bit. There is some intermixing, that's okay. I think I'll still get a nice painting. And then I'll finish with the yellow. So that it is the last color out. I just mixed these so they have a ton of air bubbles. I feel like the glue all creates more bubbles, possibly because of the viscousness of it. That they maybe hold on, the bubbles like hold better than Floetrol or other mediums. Even like I'll shake the Floetrol bottle and I won't get as many bubbles as I do as with glue. So that's something to consider if you are trying to avoid bubbles. Okay, okay, so a tree ring pour, this is the way I know of it as, so you just pour into the center with a slight back and forth motion, which creates a ripple, and then those ripples spread out over the entire canvas. And then carefully you stretch it out, and hopefully they maintain their shape. So let's get that going. Oh, I should switch to my other hand. I am right-handed. Again, I'm trying to maintain the shape so I'm pouring it nice and close to the canvas. The higher up you pour from, the more churning there's going to be when the paint hits the canvas. So if you want a lot of mixing of colors, pour from a higher distance, like a higher point. If you don't want a lot of mixing of colors, you pour from a lower point like this. I feel like I did not pour this on center. And then the last few dribbles out of the cup you want to catch so that it doesn't mess up the rest of your painting. Like so. Okay, interesting. My blue all went to this side. Not entirely, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna torch it before I stretch it. Get some of those air bubbles out. And I'm going to very slowly and carefully tilt in sort of a swirly motion. This would be easier on a Lazy Susan or other kind of spinner. I'm getting a lot of odd coloration. Not what I was expecting. I wonder what's going on there. You can see how it looks kind of like a cross section of a tree. I'm not going to talk during this because I need to concentrate. I always end up just giving up on the shape and just wanting to get it stretched. See how already the stretching has totally morphed the tree ring shape of it. Interesting. This is not at all like the the way that it came out in the turtle. It's still beautiful, but it's just bizarre. It just goes to show you can never get the same result twice with this kind of painting. Oops, just put paint on a tripod. A ton of actually. Okay. So it's not quite as bright, I guess. I mean, it's bright, obviously, but it's not quite as, what the right word is, as distinct in the, like, there was a lot more melding than I expected, given how thick I made the paint. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll bring you back in a few minutes, and then again when it's dry. Okay guys, here we are about 10 or so minutes later. I think I figured out what is disappointing me a little bit about this painting, and that is that the blue has been so heavily swallowed by the yellow. And then I was looking at my tubes of paint, and you're not gonna be able to see this on the camera, but this brilliant yellow is a semi-opaque, while the green and the blue are both opaque. So I wonder if I should have used less yellow, because it's now lighter, it's lighter weight. So it's gonna have a tendency to rise above the blue and the green, which is gonna have a tendency to sink. So I'm thinking what I should have done was just use less yellow, maybe just in the center and not on the outside ring. But anyways, but you can see that some of the line, like the delineation of the colors, has started to come back. You can see it in this area and in this area. There are cells. I don't know what I can do to make it so that there are no cells, but that's okay. I think it adds to it in this case, because my tree ring didn't quite stay in the shape that it was going to be, or that it started out in. I think what two things I could have done differently would have been, again, using less yellow, or using a different yellow, maybe one that was an opaque yellow, and then preferably spinning it out would have maintained the shape better than having to stretch it out, because just the nature of a round shape trying to stretch into a rectangle, I think maybe a square canvas and a spinning device to stretch out the paint probably would have helped. Another thing that might have helped was having more paint around the outsides to allow the paint to flow into. So those are a couple of things that I can try in the next time I want to do this type of painting. So anyways, I will bring you back for the dry result. Maybe hopefully some of that blue will kind of show back up. Anyways, see you later. Hey guys, here's the finished painting. It's now dry. I think it turned out pretty well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you'll tune in next time. Bye!